Jarrod Branthwaite is without a doubt a £100 million player. Let me explain. Now, Jarrod Branthwaite joined Everton at the age of 17 from Carlisle when Ancelotti was the manager. And obviously Everton fans didn't expect much from a 17-year-old. He was going straight into the academy, and hopefully we'd see him again in a few years. Now, Branthwaite made a few appearances for Everton, one against Wolves where he made a mistake almost instantly after coming on the bench. But despite the mistake, you could tell there was something about him. You could tell he was a good player. And then he obviously went out on loan to PSV where he scored a lot of goals for a centre-back. Even getting braces. Now, there's a reason why Marcel Brands signed him at Everton, signed him at PSV, and wanted to keep him at PSV. But why? English left-footed centre-back. He's the fastest player in the Everton team. And he's a Rolls Royce. That's what you call it. He's a Rolls Royce all over. Now, every club in England, every big club, every big six, Real Madrid, Barcelona, they want Jarrod Branthwaite because he fits the profile perfectly for the modern day perfect centre-back. And despite me not knowing what that perfect centre-back is, I think Jarrod Branthwaite is the closest thing to that. And the scary thing is, he's 21. He's still got years and years and years left of his career. But at 21, he looks like he's been playing for years. He's slotted into an Everton team that have struggled in recent years, and are, you could say, struggling at the minute with the deduction and stuff. But he came in next to James Tarkowski, and he hasn't looked out of place one bit. Now, for a 21-year-old to come into a Premier League side and be one of the best players, even just not looking out of place, doesn't just not look out of place. He looks like he's been playing in that Everton team for 10, 15 years, and yeah, arguably probably been one of Everton's best players. Now, when I say £100 million, in today's market, it's not an unrealistic number if he was to go. But I mean, he plays for Everton, obviously, and I think, as bad as it is to say, if he was at Man City and he was getting sold, he'd go for 100 mil. But because he's at Everton, I feel like when he does inevitably go, it's going to be for less. And I don't like saying inevitably because it's annoying, really, because our best players are just going to get cherry picked by the bigger teams in the Premier League. Not that City or whatever a big team, but more successful in recent years than Everton. Just look at John Stones. John Stones, an unbelievable centre half for Everton, and just picked off by Man City because he was one of the best centre backs in the league, and City can just throw cash at Everton for him. But unfortunately, he probably will go eventually. But Jarrod Branthwaite is probably Everton's most valuable asset at the minute. So the £100 million figure I'm putting on him is relative to Everton's value for him, because he holds a lot of value to Everton. And I was thinking about titling this video, why Jarrod Branthwaite is priceless. But every player's got a price tag. And for me, upwards of 100 million doesn't sound too unrealistic for Jarrod Branthwaite. And I get that he's played 15, 16, 17 or whatever games for Everton this season. But you can see the quality straight away. You can see it. And you know when a player's good. He's physical, he's strong. He doesn't often make a wrong challenge. Now, criticism on Jarrod Branthwaite, there isn't a lot. I did think on Saturday the whole defence started the game a bit shaky against Tottenham, but I don't think there was anything we could do about that. I think it was just a new defence gelling together. Godfrey slotting in at right back in a different sort of setup to what we usually do, and Branthwaite just getting used to that. But he did get used to it very quick, as well as Tarkowski. But without a doubt, for me, he's a £100 million player, regardless of whether he plays for Everton or not. When he does go, I'd be hoping Everton were sticking out for £100 million or upwards. I can see the price tag, and the rumour price tag is around £75 million, but he is probably Everton's best player at the minute. And like I said, the value that he holds to Everton isn't priceless, but it's almost priceless for Everton, because no one expected him to come in and change change a team like that, but he has done. He's been superb. Like I said, our best player for me, and especially for a player who's only played a couple of appearances before that in the Premier League. But I think that year didn't at PSV didn't the world of good. I think to go out and play professional, proper, physical football and play in the men's game, it did him a lot of good, and he even won a trophy over there. So when he does inevitably go, unfortunately, I think it's got to be upwards of 100 million for me. But I don't want to see him go. I really don't, because I do think he can stay at Everton. He can become, a hero. He can become a cult hero, if not a legend. Because if he stays at Everton for the next 10, 11 years at the level he is, he will inevitably become a legend. But it's not going to happen, unfortunately. I can see him going somewhere like Man United or Man City, or even abroad, Real Madrid. I know I've seen Ancelotti wants him, which is understandable, because if Ancelotti signs a 17-year-old from Carlisle, no, it's not Ancelotti going down there and scouting him, but if these transfers have been approved by Ancelotti, Marcel Brands, whatever, there's got to be a player in there. And he was head and shoulders above the rest, even at 17. So for me, when he does go, it's got to be upwards of 100 million. It's got to be. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you follow Out and Extra on Twitter to keep up with all the news.